I'm saying, how's everything going? How was your week?
I'm fine, and you?
Everything is good.
Doing well.
I want to see your pitch deck. Do you have your pitch deck there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Swap is the company's name, main name. Events 2 is event portion of the company, that the event management segment. That is I will refer Events 2 is a platform for the event management portion. And we have communities too, and then later comes in the broadcast and live streaming. All of this kind of goes as a 2 at the end as a brand, kind of iPhone, iPad. Just our branding person thought that's a good way to memorize, and we can make a lot of fun of in the marketing to be memorable. So Swap it's an event management and community building platform where you for small, medium-sized event companies, where small, medium-sized companies or any size company can connect all their social media channels in the community part and bring all their followers to one place and create interest-based community channels where the people can interact and they engage, and they can share any material content from their events, live stream or any pictures to that communities directly from their phone. Attendees can share information to, that is the community engagement part. And what is the problem right now? Why we are getting into event management area? This is the steps. What is the complexity of the event management process, organization process for the small, medium-sized event organizer, which goes through manual process, except selling the ticket on Eventbrite. Let's say organizer creates a event and marketing process. It does everything manually on each social media and the email. And then during the event day, I'm not familiar with in Brazil how you do. This one by here, everybody prints big list of names. And then you come, you stay in the line, they will find your name, they will give you a name tag, you write your name there, stick here, welcome. And now after that one, you look at everybody's face, you don't know who the hell this person is. And you don't know any information about the people you are going to meet, what kind of value you or they will bring you. Is that event worth your time? None of this, that's the attendee side, but organizer side, all these manual steps. And then they're complaining, first asking, can you please join our social media account, Eventbrite or Facebook or someplace? And additionally, people doesn't stay until end of the event. They try to keep them engaged and raffle ticket, all this stuff, but it's not effective. And these are the main problems. And additionally, another fourth problem, biggest problem is they usually hear events has sponsors, tables at the event, even though it's 100, 200 person event, networking event. They have sponsor tables and they get sponsors. They pay someplace around $750 to $1,500, depending on how many people you have every month at your event. For each event they pay. And they're having a hard time to finding those sponsors because they do not have a data to show why sponsors should pay, who's their demographic, who is coming to them, why it's valuable to sponsor, why they should spend their marketing money, amount dollars on this event. All these are problems. They cannot get it. And that is where the Swap is coming. And the Swap, this is another competitive landscape I am showing from the messages. You might be familiar with the C-Band on the top left side, or Idealum, all these guys. Bizabu is startup, just raised last year, I believe, or the year before that, 15 million on their Series A. Now 50 million they are preparing to raise, I believe. And then these are different companies on the lower side, which, as per this diagram here, companies with a high capabilities and with good features, they always need high investment. Even the low capability one needs comparably high investment. And here we showed the Eventbrite, who offers mainly 90% ticketing, matching for the selling a ticket platform where you can sell your event ticket. They match attendees, I'm sure you know it. They have low capability from the feature list standpoint and the low setup time. Therefore, Eventbrite became so successful, and it is one platform. In comparison to other, rather than other these platforms you see all over the place, those every event organized you go, you have to download new app and do all this, and then lose all those contacts, all those people. And the Events 2 by Swap is the completing Eventbrite. We integrate to Eventbrite, we then don't sell ticket, and you organize on Eventbrite, sell your ticket, and manage and the community as well as your events on the Events 2, where you have automatic check-in process, QR code check-in, then attendee engagement, different gamifications, community building, and sponsors. And you can find your sponsors in the starting next year. We will have a landscape where the one section in the app platform where you go, either sponsors can put the criteria and it will show them which events by demographics is much more highly return, will have a high ROI based on the data analysis, offer them so they can just send the money or offer the sponsorship, or events can find their kind of marketplace, Airbnb style place where the event organizer and sponsors will be meeting. Going forward, automated process, this is the solutions we are bringing. Pre-event management, as I said before, accessible sponsor platform, lead generation, AI-based matchmaking for the attendees, and integration to CRM, MailChimp, other useful products where they can integrate to their accounts. And as soon as they exchange the information at the event, it will just translate to live to their CRM and MailChimp. And so everything can be automated. And this is the easy 4 steps for the system. You just synchronize to your Eventbrite, and you attendee check-in you can use. You can launch your marketing campaigns, event marketing campaigns from here. All social media, we have API approvals for Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We are getting in the last process. You can create your advertisement here and run your ads from here like Hootsuite, but only small portion for the small events, so it will make life easier for them, aggregated in one place. And coming here, as of today, we updated this one a few days ago, but as of today, we have 175 early signups. And when we had this one, we didn't have the ones, we have 2 big ones, DigitalOcean. Yesterday, we signed them up after having a call, and the eSport company, event company, which organizes over 500 to 1,000 people events, gamer events. Those signed up. This will potentially calculate potential attendee for the 170 organizers per year, how many unique attendees. Like not repeating one, we excluded 50% out, since 50% usually is repeating. And this is a potential revenue only from attendee conversion. This does not include sponsorship, because we do not know per event how many is that going to get the 8, 5, but minimum right now it's a 3 to 8. That is the range for small events. And that calculation is not included here. This is just a converting you as an attendee to premium, so you can integrate to CRM, MailChimp, and use AI functionalities. Going forward, these are our goals. First year revenue, first 12 months after fundraising, 860 organizers. That's a milestone. And 4,330 premium users, and going forward, accordingly, 8,437,000 on the year 3. And we think because system being free, and we see this momentum at the beginning, companies will be more and more using this system just for their events, making life easier. I don't know you are familiar with our system or not. Have you ever tried on the website? We have demo on the website as well. Maybe you had, or if you have time, I can switch after this. I can switch there back and show you a couple pages. Not a couple pages. It's a quick. It's first iteration. It's not too big.
Okay.
And this is the market for who we are targeting. We describe here, and then when we talk about a little bit sponsorship, it looks like a little bit. I would love to hear your feedback. It looks like a little bit wordy here, but be making a little bit concise, delivering the value. I don't know. We will work on it. And the overall market size of the event management event market is $595 billion. That's total addressable market, where includes sponsorship, event management, big, small, event revenues from the content marketing and everything else. That's a total addressable market. However, serviceable market includes only sponsorship market portions. It's not all. We don't include there any sports sponsorship, nothing else. Only the cause, then family events, small events, additionally charities, and fundraising for non-invested charity. There's 4 sections we include there, and additionally we include their sponsorship market only US portion for the small, medium-sized events, which we calculated on base of our price, not on base of what is available on the market right now. Which is on the market, they are telling minimum sponsorship is $15,000 for one sponsor for the event. But we took it, our sponsorship is $750 or $1,000, depending on small or medium size. And here, this is our target market. First 5 years we are going after, which includes event management, attendee premium conversion, sponsorship for commission for the small, medium-sized event organizers, and it includes community subscription model. We will provide additional revenue source for the event organizers. If they have a 10,000 person community, they can create subscription model inside, now can start monetizing year round. And additionally, keep in mind, if they have a bigger community every time and they are active there, our sponsorship revenue will go up because sponsors will start sponsoring once around 1 week, 1 year, not one event, 3 hours, not that way. And that is the other ways of monetization, which will add more value here. Going forward, this is for attendee, how much we are charging per year, $59.95. Enterprises, or if you have over 1,000 attendees, we don't say no if you come to us. And it will be, we are thinking, still calculating, but roughly we will be charging $500 per month annual payment, like $6,000 there. One contract is $10,000 in order to get those volume of attendees to become a new users. And then we can convert and monetize on that one. And sponsorship 10% fee. And I didn't include here our subscription model because it's too complex. I don't want to convolute things and with a million different revenue models. Here, what we are planning to acquire in the stages, how many months later, what we are going to start. I described 3 months milestone. Actually, we need to update this one. We are on the 170 already. That needs to go up. And that one needs to go up 800. Sorry, I need to update that one. Yeah, going here, it's me, my daughter Sophia, our lead designer Marta, Dmitry, our brand manager. He has been a senior level brand person in the different watch counts, Fossil watches, Timberland company, and other places. And George is one of our developers. He's very bright man, and he's one of the dedicated people. We added him. And additionally, most of our developers are in Belarus because of the cost. Since I'm from Russia, he's from Belarus, and I don't want to spend here too much money. And I can save 3 times more money out in Belarus just building it there. And that is a portion of the different team. Coming here, why we have unfair advantage. We talk here about our experience, my past experience about the companies. Dimitri, our Encode Technologies, the software development company, which we provide service for different companies, and as well as our cost is very low because of we have the talent and the team there. We have easily accessible, much cheaper than here. Our George is a very outstanding person. He was NASA's one of the picked up people from the school to start their program on the mathematical analysis and then other areas, more physics related area. And Marta is a great experience. Market is untapped. That is the one of the unfair advantage. And we are coming now with the free model, which will be free for everybody. And it's first commerce market. It might disturb and make big noise on the standpoint that if app gets used bigger, even big companies up to 1,000 attendees, all of them will jump onto it. It will lower the market, kill the market for other companies. That is another thing we are talking about. And that's all my pitch. And we have appendix pages. If you want, I can send it to you. Did you provide it? If not, please provide. We have 10, 12 additional pages there showing how much revenue and going through. Let's switch that one real quick.
Yeah, I provided them the old
old pitch deck.
Yeah, before we revised it.
Okay, let me change it real quick. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Do you see it, screen?
No, you didn't share it with him. Oh, okay.
No, I did share it. It's the same place. I just changed the file. Okay, here we talk about appendix slide. First slide, we talk about concern and responses based on the concerns I think investors will have, why large tech companies will not take over, and these transactions coming into, because there are huge companies out there. Established event companies, we think, when we had the lower price model, yes, I would say they will come in. But when you have a free model, there is no possibility these companies will enter the market, lower their prices, and make their product free when they don't have other sections and segments they have never built for themselves, even the sponsorship part. That is why I think they will rather acquire us than they getting into building something from zero. Therefore, it creates us great opportunity for exit, soon exit, a very quick exit, if investors decide to. Eventbrite will provide same service. Oh yeah, they are providing same service. They are charging $10,000, but their system's still not widely used. And if you watch their investor calls and they listen to their CEO and every strategy they're announcing, this company is ticketing company, and this company is not willing to go after event management system only side, because that market is literally 20 times smaller, overall market, 20 times smaller than the ticketing market. When the ticketing market is $400 billion market, and they're not going to go after $27 billion market. It doesn't make sense. And their last announcements was going after this ticketing in the Europe. And because in US they have 58% capacity, but in Europe, in the other countries, not. It's much lower than that. Coming here, big company, big opportunity. Market is big market in combinations, sponsorship, subscription, and putting in the attendee engagement, that generating the lead, quality leads. And we have market validation. I think we can say we have market kind of validation 60-70%, because of the hype. People signed up. Even first 5 companies, first time I showed the presentation demo at the place, they said, where can I put my name? I need this. These were not people who I interviewed for the customer exploration. These were the people separate to get the independent opinion they didn't know about. And the simple business model, we charge attendees. It's free for event organizers. So if you want comfort, if you want everything in one place, welcome. Open a website, create your account, connect and use. Coming here, exit strategy, which companies we see might be candidates down on the road in a few years will acquire us. Community-based companies or event management companies. Investment opportunity, we are raising 500,000 just to get to sit around with a bigger value, because I think with the traction you can go to sit around, you will lose a lot of value, you will give up too much on the percentage if you go pricing round. But we think if we get 500,000 right now, we can make it much higher valuation to that point to raise the seed round. And additionally, we had a funding, but something happened to investors' financials. In November, I raised $250,000 angel funding. I didn't take all 250. I said, keep it, send me when I need. That was my mistake. And then piece by piece, he was sending until something happened to his finances, and he couldn't handle the sending rest of the money. And therefore, I started again since February spending my money, and he invested, and the families. And now I'm 200 approximately, and he's a little bit lower than like around 20, 50,000 something. We have to calculate, but significant amount invested by Dmitry himself personally as well. We need to get this funding in order to keep this momentum going. Otherwise, it's very not nice place to stop and stall. Because momentum started, you gotta keep going. People are telling to each other, and you have to launch this company. You have to keep everything happening. Current acquisition channels, what we are using right now, Facebook page has 19,000 members, all event professionals, including event creators, event designers, and all event organizers. Not organizers, event professional, area professional who creates a kind of helping to spread the word and getting their opinion, everything else. Referral programs, we are working on bringing affiliate program. When we have paid system, we will provide it. Then Eventbrite events. You will be able, using our system, to find any event on Eventbrite. It will be discovery place. You can buy ticket from being on our platform using your Eventbrite account, like you do on Facebook. This is the pricing of the thing. We need to be careful on that part. Average pricing on the market, what they are charging. Besides this $1,900, as you see, minimum average price, they charge additional back-end subscription event management system, which you as an organizer have to subscribe in order to manage your planning section. That's the one-time payment every year you have to pay. It's not monthly. And most companies, 80% of them, use the same business model. And this is our numbers here. Thankfully, we have numbers out there. It's showing revenues. On the third year, you can see it's going up, taking off the ground. But by that time, and trying to be very conservative, only 5% of the 60% of the all attendees. If you need, I can provide the calculations, converting them to premium. We will earn this money, and plus on the limited number of events, converted events, who uses the sponsorship portal from there. And here you can see cumulative cash flow by end of the year 3, 22 million, and the maximum cash outlay 3.8 million, break even. As per these calculations, 20 months 22, and the expenses and the revenue sales. No, this is cumulative cash flow.
Okay.
It is, you have to add this one, and this one. Okay, going back. Go-to-market roadmap, what we are doing, how we are getting. This explain the marketing begins. That's when we started. Everything on plan right now. Community mode gets launched before end of year, but on the test model, and then early next year we'll launch it full. Sponsorship module, we were thinking bringing end of 2020, but we might move it forward, full model, but as a beta version will come before 2020. And going forward, this is marketing strategies, again repetition in more bird's eye view. And here launch event, what we are doing, how we are getting there. Sales and parallel movement of the sales and marketing. And driver to success, what we do and how we are leveraging integrations, early adoption, and as well as what we need. This is the components of the success, let's say this way, for us. I think that's all. That's the last page. Should I show web? Did you share?
Just exit.
Which one I should share? I want to share screen.
Let's take a look on it.
Yeah, 1 second. This is how user organizer starts, creates account. You see screen, just to make it clear.
Yes, I can see.
Okay. And here, creates organizer profile, saves here, and integrations with different platforms. This is just initial CRM, MailChimp, Meetup, first year what we are going to bring, and later we'll have open API, and additionally we'll bring more integrations. Event, let's say I'm creating event. I already sell ticket on Eventbrite. I import from Eventbrite my active event, one of these events. I click import. Now you are at the event section, and you have event information and list of attendees here. You can message them or internally, or you can connect, means request their information here. If you didn't connect to attendee between each other ever, in that case, they cannot click or to see any of your information. And only after I approve my business card to be given to you, I mean, you allowing you to see my phone number, then you will see it. Also, you can create different cards for different events. You don't have to give everybody same card. You have one big profile, but you select, even sometimes you can just put anonymous. There's not going to be any information about you, except, let's say, you can pick only your event, LinkedIn or website out there. Just the privacy, everything. You can control your information. You gave me your information. Tomorrow, you want to give me more information. We build a relationship. You don't have to give me a new card. You can just go my name and enable other information which you want. It will automatically add to my system. I will have it. And you can search attendees by interest, by expertise, by every data point they have on their profiles. And if you don't have integration, you import your list of attendees here, just from the Excel file, check your email template, and they just click and send. Done. Everybody receives email. I will show what happens when you send that email. User receives this email, clicks here, comes platform first time if they didn't have a created account, opens it, and adds their information, expertise, social media, attachments, resume, videos, and in top 5 interest, top 5 expertise, bio, and other information. These profiles are encrypted, so security standpoint, and all the communications are encrypted communications. And here you can create professional or social cards, depending on what type of event you go or what type of people you want to give your information. You can use this different type of cards to categorize them. And you save the information. This is your profile, your notifications, and they're coming here, your cards. And the event, let's say I get invited. If you see it's blurry, I invited, I didn't accept. I didn't receive email, but I received here. I can click on it, somebody invited me. I can select student or something and select my card from my cards, which I created, which one I want to share on the attendee list. If somebody requests from there, so the card, when I approve, which is going to be given, is that card. And from here, everything is simple. Before you come to event, you can see attendees, list of attendees, name, position, city, and search them, classify them, see how many people coming, and then connect MailChimp. Here, connect CRM. And additionally, anybody you messaged. At the first edition comes direct messaging. Here, your contacts. You can select which card of yours. These are your cards on the left side. You select your pro card, see who you gave it this card to. And then your social cards, who you gave it to. And then these are the people you connected to. And the coming here, let's say, these are from Eventbrite events, which organizers are not organizing on our platform, but you can still select and mark, I am going. It authenticates through your email and marks you going. So people who did the same thing, you will see each other. And here, attendee list, this is how you connect. You click connect, send the request, other person receives. This is the how, if you don't want to request, you can message and start conversation here, which will appear on your messaging, or you just click on the person's profile to see what's going on. Do you have any questions?
No, I think it's okay. What I want to do now is going back to your pitch deck. I'm going to start to talk about a mentor now.
Yes.
Let's take a look on the slides. Okay, so I'm going to start to analyze your pitch as an investor. However, the tips and the recommendations would be as a mentor. So when I look at your slide, your logo, which is light blue, almost disappears.
Yes.
And it should be very apparent. It should be very clear. So make sure that it's clear. Then you should use a picture in the front page. You need to use a picture that represents your brand and your value proposition. And because you are in the event world, it's very easy for you to get good pictures in order to include in your presentation. I was talking to a startup that was focusing on meeting rooms rent. And they were able to came up with a very good picture to represent their brand and their value proposition with one picture. In your business, it's much easier. It is much easier than the other startups that I just mentioned.
What kind of picture do you see being kind of having a good value add?
The best picture that you could use to represent your brand and the value proposition is a picture that shows a satisfaction of your persona. Do you know persona? Persona is...
Yeah.
Okay. So when you think on your persona using your product, what is the feeling that she or he would have comparing to the alternatives that they have in the market right now? Try to get this image and include in your first page. And there's a very good reason for that. The reason is that you need to create an emotional connection with the investor. I, as an investor, I need to be attracted. I need to feel involved by your presentation. And the best way to do it is to start with a good image and a good sentence. So you included here already a good sentence which describes what you do. So you said that Swap is an event management and community building platform for small and medium-sized event organizers and planners. It's clear what you're gonna do. It's clear your solution. It's clear your product.
Okay.
But it's not clear the feeling of your customers.
Okay,
and it's very good to present it.
Customer pitch deck, we have one picture about the messiness, how messy is their on the first page, their registration or the check-in processes.
Great.
Everything.
Great.
Satisfaction part, we didn't release yet. They don't have it. We need to make our first event on August, probably 21st. Our first event is first client's event, and from that event we'll have a lot of data and the pictures, videos. We will use it a lot. But I definitely agree with the emotional connection. It makes a lot of sense, and then person can imagine your every word when you. Not only just the word, but at the same time as a situation he has ever been.
Exactly. It's exactly this. And the next slide, when you talk about the problem, I like the points that you brought, but be careful with the colors that you use because it's hard to see. But in this particular slide, you should tell the same thing, but with a story. So, thinking on the pictures that you have in your other presentation, that you're gonna show the mess and the problems that your avatar, that your persona is facing.
Maybe making one persona like a Johnny is going to event and he's a mess. Waiting at the event line.
Exactly.
Here is like two people interacting. Like you're the organizer and I'm Johnny, and we're just
here. You are starting talking. Here, let me tell you Johnny's story, and then with Johnny going, how miserable life he's gonna go through right now. Let's make him miserable.
Exactly.
Okay. He's gonna start make our event.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like the idea. I never thought about it for the investors.
Because they're gonna like your investors gonna like that.
Miserable Johnny.
Exactly. And then once you have
miserable Johnny, yeah. We make it right.
And it's very good. I think that we are creating a connection somehow, because I wouldn't need to say, because I was exactly saying that you should use persona to describe all this problem, and before I have said, you have already mentioned. So connection was great here. So going forward, the next slide where you present the solution, I think. No, the competition. You describe here what are the options that John have today and what he does. So he uses this platform, he could use another platform, he could use this, but then he has this problem and this problem, so it's not good. And then you should include here your brand and your product afterwards. First, talk about the problems in the previous slide, then go to the next one, talking the alternatives that he has nowadays, and then you make your logo and your product appears on the screen saying, and now we have a solution.
Okay, can we do this way with a kind of when we make a presentation to appear same slide, first slide is this one, will be without our logo and the place that the top right second segment will be empty. No, just go back, same slide, but the second segment is empty, and the same slide with our logo when you bring. Now swap is on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Understood. It is easy to do it on when you do a presentation on PowerPoint or someplace else. This system doesn't allow it animation, or I have to just add two same.
Yeah, and this alternative that you just mentioned is perfect. It works very well.
Okay.
And when you change,
I like that idea.
And when you change the slide, nobody notices. It seems that your logo appears.
That's definitely a good idea.
Mm-hmm. For presentation.
Okay, so now that you are talking about your solution, then you talk about their solution. However, you use a lot of text here.
Yes.
You need to create a connection. You always need to think on the emotional side of your presentation. You need to create a connection with the emotional side of the investor brain, because people, they decide with their emotional side. If you don't talk to it, it's hard to convince and make them act. So an important aspect on your pitch is to be very emotional. When you're bringing your solution here only with text, it doesn't create the connection.
Absolutely agree. Just the text instead of picture, using a picture, or the maybe kind of not animated, but
the slide transitions that you could use.
Yes, if I show, do you see the screen? Let me show you one thing here. Because this presentation is, you see this one, now smaller version came in?
Yeah.
On this one, if I do presentation mode, this here, it's not going to show.
Okay.
Did you see presentation mode?
Yeah.
Okay. On the presentation mode, what is happening when I change all this appearing one by one?
Oh, I see.
You see everything that's coming while I am talking.
Yes, too slow.
It's real slowed down because we didn't use it.
Okay.
You see, even here, we need to just change the speed and all this. But on the presentation, we can do just movement, even each of these coming one by one. Is that something, or better pictures?
Better pictures. I would include all the pictures that you, not the pictures, but your website, your platform, really. How it works here. You could record a video and include here, but not a video like a video.
It's a GIF, movement, like saying...
Exactly, with movement, saying, okay, so what's new here? What our persona will be able to do? What John are you gonna have? What John is gonna have? So make it more interesting, make it more emotional, make it more good to see. So, guys, unfortunately, our time is off. I would have a lot to add to your presentation. It's a very good idea. I think there's a market there. There are other aspects on your pitch that it's important for you to take a look and review, because it will make it more impactful. It will increase your chances of getting the investment, because nowadays I'm about to do this math, but I believe that 2% of the pitches that I have seen receive the investment. So you need to position yourself in these 2%. And Tural has experience on getting those investments and getting exits. So he is already experienced in doing it. So I believe that if you improve the way that you're presenting, it will be even easier to get the investor that you need.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Augusto. I really appreciate for your time, and it was really good feedback. I really liked it.
Great. Happy to help.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much, Augusto. We very much appreciate it.
Bye. Talk to you soon, guys.
Have a good one.
Yep. Talk to you.